Hi everyone, it's Jess, aka Colouring Bumblebee, and I'm back today with another video for you. Today I thought it would be fun to go through all of my project books that I have been working in for at least the last year from 2024 and show you how far along I am with them for the beginning of 2025, and then I can check in at the start of next year in 2026 and see if I manage to get all 12 pages that I'm supposed to be doing, one a month in each of these books for this year, and see my progress as I come into the following year. So looking forward to sharing these with you. Some have been project books longer than others. Quite a few of them have 5 pages done, some of them have 8, some of them only have a couple, but I thought I would share them with you. And at the end I will also be going through the 5 books I would like to focus on for 2024, not 2024, for 2025 in terms of the hopes of completing them. I've got 5 books that I'm focusing on. I will show you my progress in them, and I will again show them at the end of the year to see how far I've got with those ones as well. So let's move these books to the side and get straight into the video. So firstly, I have my 2025 colouring journal here, and I set up a spread in the back of my book to track my project books for 2025, and I thought I would fill this out with you as I go through. Some people like to just colour the amount that they've done, but I like to colour the box related to the number page I have, and I have some trackers in my books to help me with this. So I'll move this to the side and bring it out at the end of each book. The first one I have to show you is Year of Witches by Usiku, and this is a project book with my lovely friend Zoe from Zoe's Cozy Colouring, and we started this as a project book, I want to say the end of summer in 2024. We were doing something different, but we changed to this, and I will just flip through the book and share with you the pages I've done. So I have done page number 3 here. This is, I have my thing at the back. This is Tea or Coffee. I did this before we made this a project book. This was the only page I'd coloured in here. I really enjoyed doing this. Based it with alcohol markers, shaded with polychromos. I've done the same for all of the pages in this book. Based with alcohol markers, shaded with polychromos, and this one has some glitter gel pen around the edges of the stars, just for a bit of sparkle and shine. We did this page for September together. This is the Fall Witch Essentials, and I kind of picked the colours as I went. I didn't really have a colour scheme in mind other than I wanted it to be autumnal colours. I think I might have started with this top. I kind of pictured it being yellow for some reason. So I brought the yellow in. I knew I wanted orange for the pumpkins, a lot of black, and I thought blue for the jeans, bring that throughout the page, and a bit of green for the stems of the pumpkins. So I brought that in some of the elements up here, and then I added this sort of burnt orange kind of coppery colour in some browns. So I quite enjoyed doing that. It was a trickier page to colour because there's a lot of separate little elements and trying to make the page look cohesive, but I really enjoy how that turned out. We did this one. This is Pumpkin Parade. We did this for October, and we've got all these pumpkins down the bottom, which are so much fun to colour, and I used a gold glitter gel pen for the moon and the stars. Usually I'd go for a silver moon, but I thought I'd do gold to match the accents on their capes. I've used a gold Signo gel pen to outline some of the lines on their capes, and I thought I'd do gold stars and moon to match. So we've done a few in the autumn section. We started this one together. I think this was for November. We both just completely lost inspiration. I think Zoe got a little bit further with hers. I think she may have coloured some of their outfits or something like that. But I thought we can just leave this as a long-term whip, pick it up when we feel like it. Still not quite sure how I want to tackle this page, but it's there when I'm ready. Then this is the most recent page I've done. This is the By the Fireplace. We did this for Christmas, for December. I really enjoyed colouring this, and I love looking at it with the final result. I love the Christmassy colour palette, reds and greens, and I used a bit of black glaze pen on the fire guard here and on the metal hook and for the teapot there. I absolutely love the shine the glaze pen has, so really enjoyed that one. We're doing this one for January, haven't started that yet. I had this started as a whip before we made this a project book. I've done basing in alcohol markers and Tombow dual brush pens for some of these brown tones because I didn't have very many good browns in my alcohol markers. And then I got completely lost on where to go for the colours, so I just left it. And I think this is the only page Zoe's completed in the book, so eventually we'll have to do a catch-up month where she does the one that I completed and I do the one that she's completed. Then we haven't got any done in the spring section yet, as we are both seasonal colourists, so like to colour in the seasonal sections. But this was the first page we did together. This is Midsummer Night, and I had a lot of fun with this. I knew I wanted pinks and purples and like deep jewel tones, and I think it just looks so pretty. I've got lots of glitter gel pen for the stars on the light here, some in the water. Probably not picking up too well, but I really enjoyed this page. And I believe that is the final one I've got coloured in this book. Yes, I like to keep my girls consistent throughout the book. So I have their colour combos written down for the alcohol markers and the polychromos that I shade on top with, so that their skin and hair look the same throughout. Although sometimes they cut their hair, they grow out their hair, and sometimes the redhead girl has short hair and sometimes she has long hair. Sometimes she has, the blonde girl has long hair, sometimes she has short hair. And I realised I had accidentally switched up this last month. But let's have a look at my tracker that I've got at the back here and bring out my colouring journal. So I have coloured page 3, page 4 and 5, page 15, and page 28. So there we go, that is 5 pages done in Year of Witches at the end of 2024. Looking forward to seeing this book fill up, especially in the spring and summer sections. I really love those sections. So that is Year of Witches by Usiku. Next I've got Colouring Heaven Pocket Edition Fairy Tales. This is a project book with the lovely Lil at Poles Colouring over on Instagram. And she reached out to, I think we had a buddy colour in this book actually, and then she asked if I wanted to continue it as a project book. And I think at that time I just dropped one as a project book, so I thought, sure, let's do it. And these are pretty quick and simple to colour. I have been using alcohol markers as a base, as you can see here, and shading over the top with Prismacolor pencils, as I love the bright, bold colours they give. It really creates that sort of storybook look. So I've done Alice in Wonderland, we did that one together. I think she's done 1, maybe 2 pages, and I've done an extra one as well, or an extra 2. So we'll have to do a catch-up month as well together. We did Snow White. Absolutely love how she turned out, exactly like I envisioned it. Again, use the same alcohol marker base, Prismacolors on top. I know she's done Rapunzel. I'm tempted to get her done for next month. I've done Little Red Riding Hood. I think I might have done this before me and Lil did it as a project book. These are just absolutely adorable pages. We did this one in December. I haven't written the date yet. Oh, it's because I haven't taken a photo of it. So I need to take a photo of this. I sent progress pics to her, but I haven't taken one of the finished page yet. This was December, but we both didn't finish it until the beginning of January. This is the first page I'd done here. This was a buddy colour with Yolanda at Colouring by Kamama. It was both our first pages in this book. Really enjoyed that. I had a bit of a bleed through incident here. I very rarely forget to put a page underneath, but I was so excited to start him. I just started colouring and it went through, but I think I should be able to hide it okay, as the hair will be red. I might use some glitter gel pen or metallic watercolour on these circles, and then I just need to figure out a way to hide the shell. And then that is it. And again, I've got a little tracker here. This one's nice and easy as they're all numbered. But oh yeah, we are doing the Snow Queen as our page for January, so really looking forward to getting that done. Very different vibe from the reds and greens. It's going to be nice, cool, icy blues. So let's add these finished pages to the journal. So I've done page, oh no, it's this one, Pocket Fairy Tales. Almost coloured the Matchick Mouse one. Page 3, page 9, 14, 24, and 26. So that is another book with 5 pages completed in it. Again, I think this is going to be so satisfying with all the bright, bold colours, especially with the mediums that I've been using in this book. Already it's looking lovely flipping through. And that is the Colouring Heaven Pocket Edition Fairy Tales. Then I have Matchick Mouse, a big adventure colouring book. And this is a project book with Nikki from Knick Knack Colours, Geordie from Geordie Colours, and Amy from Colouring with Amy. And I have my tracker at the front here. And Nikki and I started off doing this book together, and then we've had the other two join us over time. We haven't done very many at the beginning of the book. I think it's more towards the end. I just love Matchick Mouse, and I can't wait to have a Morgan O'Brien book finished. We did this page in the autumn season, which is why I used a kind of autumnal colour palette. I really struggled with this one. I didn't like how the base colour turned out, but once I shaded over the top with pencils, it all turned out okay. And in my Matchick Mouse books, I like to keep her consistent throughout the book. I change her between the books, but in the same book I use the same pencils, colour combos, etc. So for this one I've been using Prismacolors, and I have that noted at the back of the book so I can refer to that easily. And it just means that I don't have to think about it when it comes to colouring her. I think this was the first page we did, the meerkat page. I love meerkats, they are my favourite animal. And yeah, it's great to colour one for the first time actually. We did this one. I love the pastel colour palette I used. This background is completely done with alcohol markers. I didn't go over the top with pencils, and really loved the soft blend I got with them. I have this very purpley themed page of the Paris night sky. There's a lot of wax bloom on this from the Prismacolors, but that's okay. This is the page we're doing for January. As you can see, haven't started any of those yet. We did the Colosseum page. I think this was another early one. I like the limited palette I used with just kind of blue, green, grey and brown. Makes a very sort of striking look to this. We had the fun Under the Sea page with the coral reef. I just enjoyed using a bunch of different colours. I often struggle when doing like picking any colour that I like. Sometimes it doesn't look cohesive, but I think this one worked out okay. This was the most recent page we did, and I added some of these Spectrum Noir clear glitter pen over the top of the Northern Lights and on the snow. And I love how sparkly it is. Absolutely love this page. Everyone's turned out beautifully for that one. We did the Dia de los Muertos page for November. Love the bright colour scheme. I was inspired by the colours of the film Coco by Pixar. And I need to get a protector page in between here because it's yellowing. And apparently it just gets worse over time, so I need to make sure I put a page both sides. It seems to be this dark, I don't think it was a black, I think it was a very dark grey. Need to make a note of which one it was. I cannot remember, but I noticed it happening again. And I believe that might be the last page we've got done in this one. Yeah. So that is 8 pages done in this book. I will record in my journal which pages we've got done. Page 8. You see? Yeah. Page 10, 12 and 13, 19 and 20. I think it's always satisfying in a colouring book to have a few pages in a row next to each other coloured. 23 and 26. I just love seeing these fill up the colour over time. And Matchick Mouse Adventure is one that I don't think I've got behind, or if I did it very early the next month. They're really quick, easy colours. You don't have to think too much about them. And they always turn out beautifully. So that is Matchick Mouse, A Big Adventure colouring book by Morgan O'Brien. Then I have R.J. Hampson's Lost and Found. I haven't coloured in this for a few months, but this is a project book with Dana from Dabbler D on Instagram. We took a bit of a break over the festive period as we were both quite busy, but we have come back and we are planning to do a page in January together. And the way we decided to colour this book is that one of us would do the light first set of images, the light background, and one of us would do the black background. As she has the hardcover copy, she was doing the light colour and I'm doing the black background pages. So I'll show you these few at the front because I know we are planning to colour these together at some point. But when we get to this page, I will move to the second set of images. In fact, I'm not sure if Dana has this in her book. I'll need to double check. But that is part of my list of things to colour. I think this might have been the first one we coloured together, Paradise Lost. I really, really enjoyed colouring this. Yes, it definitely was the first one because I challenged myself to use polychromos pencils for Amazon paper without basing with our alcohol markers. I just thought it would create a different look, and it absolutely did. It has this kind of vintagey, you can see some of the texture of the paper coming through, and I quite enjoy it for this book. And it's nice to have that kind of cohesive style throughout. Add a little bit of silver gel pen to this key here and around the gems. And I have been colouring in the little image here. Usually I don't for R.J. Hampson's books because I use alcohol markers on the previous page, so this is kind of obscured, but as I've been using pencils, I thought I'd colour these in as well. We were meant to do this for Space Timber. In fact, Dana did hers. I had no inspiration for it, and I still am struggling to picture how I can colour this. I know a bunch of people coloured it, and they did amazing jobs. And I just need to pick a colour palette that involves some greys. Maybe do the smoke a fun colour. I'm not sure. We've done The Key to My Heart. Really loved the colour palette of this. I was really unsure of what to do. And then I looked on RJ's Instagram because sometimes he'll have a few coloured images from the book, and this was one of them. So I was completely inspired by his colour scheme, and it made me colour with a colour scheme that I wouldn't usually choose. So that was a lot of fun. As I'm looking through this book now, I'm thinking, which do I want to pick for my next month? Because she picked January, so it's my turn to pick for February. We are doing this page for January. Can't wait to start colouring that. It's one of my favourite pages from the book. Quite a few in the middle we haven't done. We've done Lost in Wonder, this Mr. Fogarty one. I know that Dana had a bit of a funny story with hers. She started colouring Mr. Fogarty here and started colouring his legs this colour, and then noticed that there's a cuff because it's his trousers. So she made him wearing these funky leg warmers, which I thought was hilarious. I went for a different kind of colour scheme for this. I usually go for a more yellow toned green, and I went for a more blue toned green here. But my favourite part of the page is this stained glass window. I think that looks super pretty, and I put silver gel pen around the edge. That took a while. And I've got lots of silver glitter pen. There's a bunch of dots in the background, so I thought I'd emphasise them with glitter. We have done the bug catcher. I love this little guy. I coloured him with colours inspired by Russell from Up, the little boy in that film. So I went for this sort of yellow and brown colour scheme. Then when it came to the bugs, I picked out this sort of green combo for some of them, spread that across the page, this sort of bluey black colour for some of these moths, spread that across, and then a bit of red. And then I was basically done. I think the last few things I had to do was this dragonfly maybe, and I was stuck on that for a while. But I love how this beetle turned out, the sort of dark green one. I like how it almost fades into the background there. But I love this bug catcher, and he does appear in some other books. It's always a fun time colouring him. This was the most recent page we coloured. This is the collector. And if you can spot it, there's a lot of objects that were featured in previous pages. So if we go back, for example, we've got a grasshopper caught in a jar from the bug catcher. We've got this cage here. The sand timer I know we have. Oh, in fact, this globe here I coloured exactly the same as this one, using the same colour scheme. And I think starting with that and with this little dragon guy helped me pick out my colours for the rest of the page, because I wanted to create a sense of cohesion throughout them. This hourglass you can see here, even with the little boat. What else have we got? I always love colouring pages like this that include little callbacks to previous pages. I'm pretty sure we've got this clock somewhere. Maybe in a... Oh, this octopus guy we've got in this jar here. Oh, in fact, the guy with the letter is in... Is he in there? No, he's not. I don't know where he is then. This guy up here. Yeah. Well, it was a lot of fun, and by having this with the dark pink and the light pink and spreading that throughout and just colouring each little element at a time, and really enjoyed colouring the vines of this, and the raccoon was so fun. Yeah. And then this page I'm hoping to finish in January. We had it scheduled months and months ago, and I just lost inspiration. I did a tiny bit the other day, and it was these stairs. For some reason I didn't colour those in, but I tried to match the colours as best as I could. I tried to play with lighting here, and I've got this sort of yellow glow on the tree, but I haven't really got the yellow glow anywhere else. I could add a bit of yellow to this tiger here and add them to the animals to make it really appear like it's happening at night time. But I'm just not sure where I want to go colour wise. But I just need to pick out some colours, spread them throughout the page, and it will look fine. I've just been avoiding it, but this month I think is going to be the month. And that is all of the pages from Lost and Found. And for this one at the back, I decided to put the numbers of the pages and the names of each of them. So if we come back to my journal, I need to move this up a little bit. I have done page 3. That confused me for a second, because I was like, I've done the first page, but the first page is the books belongs to page, then the second page is publisher info, so the first colouring page is number 3. Then 5 I've done, the key to my heart. and big jump to 19. Need to get some more done in the middle there. And we've done 22 and 26. So there we go, another book with 5 pages coloured in it. But hopefully I'll get another 2 more done for January. You will see that in my completed pages video, hopefully. So that is R.J. Hampson's Lost and Found colouring book. Then I have another R.J. Hampson book. This is Around the World. And I have been terrible at keeping up with this with my buddy. This is with Kath Colours Pages over on Instagram. I think I said in a video or something like that I wanted to colour this book front to back. I haven't done the intro pages yet, but I will do them eventually, because I saw that Jackie from Spare Room Studio did that, and it basically creates this fun storybook. But we started with the Mr. Fogarty's clock, and this took me a while to complete. Based it with alcohol markers, and as you can see, it was this awful yellow looking colour, and I felt so disheartened by it, but I pushed through, shaded on top with, I think, Prismacolor pencils actually, and it turned out just the way I wanted it to, this sort of antique gold colour. And then I put in this kind of turquoisey blue and a pop of the green for the grasshoppers as a bit of an accent colour. So really enjoyed that one. This was a page that took me several months to do. When did I finish this? June. So I'm pretty sure this was meant to be for July. I finished it in October down here. I had based a bunch of it, and then I wasn't sure where to go for the colours of the characters here, so I left it abandoned for a while. And then finally one day I picked it up and was like, I'm finishing it now. And I just picked some different colours, and I think it looked really quite nice actually, and don't think there's anything I'd change about it. And I even recorded, because you see these characters come back later wearing the same outfits, so I recorded down what colours I used for each of the characters, and I put them here so that I can use the same colours and keep that sort of cohesive. I think Mr. Fogarty's outfit will change. Yeah, he's wearing something different as he's just been around the world, but the other characters look to be wearing the same things. Then I've done the Bare Essentials. This page was super quick and easy for me. It was quite limited, with the red of his outfit, brown and navy blue, and green for the grass and blue for the sky, and that was it. Really enjoyed colouring this. This was September's page, and then I finished this the following month. And then I can't remember what month this was meant to be for, but we've got Charing Cross Station. I've started that. I'm determined to finish it this month. And then Catherine has also finished Paris, but I haven't even started it. But I mean, I would love to get both of these done. I wanted to get both of these done for quite a few months now, but just haven't quite got there. But hopefully once I get caught up, I'll be able to go through with a bit more momentum. But I've gone through with the same alcohol marker and based Mr. Fogarty in all of the pages, so he can look the same throughout the book, as that's something I like to do. But yeah, I've been using alcohol markers and Prismacolors in this book. I really enjoy it, and I can't wait to get some more pages done. And it's nice doing them in order. It's a different way of colouring for me. I don't often colour a book front to back, but with this one I thought that would be a bit fun. Gosh, I'm not looking forward to having to colour Mr. Fogarty's clock again, but in a smaller scale. But there we go, that's where the second set of pages begin, and we've got the black background. So let's go to my tracker. This one's nice and easy to record, as I've just done the first 3 pages. So that starts on page 3, and I've done 3, 4, and 5. Nice and easy. So there we go. That is Mr. Fogarty's Around the World by R.J. Hampson. Next, I've got 50 Woodland Miniatures by Community Angel Cova. This is the newest addition to my project books. I was reached out by Does that make sense? Is that grammar? Mindy from Colouring with Cats Among Orchids reached out to me and asked if I wanted to do this as a project book. I ummed and ahed because I said I wouldn't take on any more, but I thought, you know what? These take barely any time for me to complete. I can do one a month. I can commit to that. And it'll be great to see this book fill up over the year. So I haven't done any of these beginning pages, and there are a few pages that I'd already coloured and a few pages that Mindy had already coloured. So there's going to be a few months where we both try and get 2 done, just to catch up a bit. I have them flagged up here, so she's done this pheasant page. I have started this dryad page, hate how it looks, but I think I can save it. I think I can save it. And I accidentally missed, I think I had a page behind here, but it shifted whilst I was colouring and it transferred over underneath, so not quite sure how I'm going to hide that. I probably won't be able to, and I'll just have to accept that there's a red blotchy mark, but what can you do? It's a colouring book after all. We've already picked the February page as well. She sent me a couple of options and I picked my favourite from them. I will of course say it. This I did recently. This was before we made this a project book, but I love the bright kind of, reminds me of primary school, the colours. I'm a little bit annoyed by, you know, sometimes when you uncap an alcohol marker and it splutters over the page, I've got a tiny green dot there and there, but that's okay. Again, it just shows that you're colouring in the book and appreciating it, and I'd rather that than a blank colouring book for me. But I've been using alcohol markers in here, Ohuhu brush markers, and shading with them, doing some very simple shading, and I feel like I'm really starting to develop my style in Camelia's books, and it's going to be really fun seeing them all completed. This was the first page we did for January. We've both got it done. Absolutely love how it turned out. I think he looks so sweet, doing some berry picking. I had done this before we made it a project book. I think this even was the first page I did. And I think this is the first time I tried colouring a page with just alcohol markers. And I loved the results. I especially love the colour of the background. I don't often do a dark, deep green background, but it looks lovely. Even these birds, like the shading on the wings, looks really nice to me. This is one of the pages that Mindy had already coloured, and I'm doing this as a buddy colour with Nikki from Knick Knack Colours, so we will be doing that for January as well. I had already coloured this page before. Absolutely love how bright and summery it is. It's one of my favourite things about this book. Even though it's not a seasonal book, it kind of has different pages that go throughout the seasons. This is probably my least favourite Camellia page I've ever done. It's losing that wick that needs saving. I just think it looks a bit bland. I could do a lot better if I did it now. I don't think I picked the right colours at all, but it is what it is. This is the page we're doing for February. I think this is really cute. She picked out some ones that looked kind of like they were couples, and I liked how this guy was holding a cake because February is my birthday month. She's already coloured this page, so I'll need to do that as well. I just think this is such an adorable book. It's probably my favourite so far of Camelia's. It's either that or Mythical Minis, but I don't know if that is becoming a favourite because I've coloured in it so much. This I absolutely love, the cat tea party. I used a washi tape for the blanket down here. I think that looks great. That was the first thing I did, and I based my colours off of the blanket. And the final thing I did was this background. I thought just a nice light sky blue would do nicely. This is a very simple page. I think I used only the Ohuhu pastel alcohol markers that I have, and a bit of Spectra Noir clear glitter pen on the wings. I just love the sort of purple and periwinkle blue. I think the colour scheme's lovely. And that is it from this book. So I've got my tracker at the back here. I only done 6 pages. Have I counted the one that I've just done? 1, 2. I feel like I've done more. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. So I hadn't counted the most recent one yet. I hadn't recorded that at the back, which is where? Here, number 23. So let me grab my highlighter for that one. So, colour 23. And then do the tally mark, because I find this quicker to read than counting up the squares here. And let's transfer that over to my journal. I need to remember to update this every month. So I have done 19, 23, 25, 27, 30, 48 and 49. So there we go, that's 7 pages done from this book. And yeah, it's a brand new buddy colour book. Really looking forward to colouring more of it this year and getting this book nice and filled up. That is 50 Woodland Miniatures by Camellia Angelkova. Then I have World Fairy Tales by Eerie. This is the oldest project book I've been doing. Sorry, the dust cover. There we go. I like it being aligned. This is the oldest project book I've been doing with Megan from Meg's Colouring Corner. And when did we start doing this? I think 2023. Let me find the earliest page we did. We've been doing it since March 2023. And we have been doing roughly a page a month. There's been some months where I skipped over, some months she skipped over. We haven't done one since I think October or September. We've been really behind, but this is the month that we're catching up and moving on. So let's start flicking through. I have coloured in the thumbnails of the pages I've done and ticked, and even there's a couple that I'm missing that I never finished or started that I will need to catch up, but I've put the month that it was meant to be coloured next to it. So this Little Red Riding Hood was meant to be December 2023 and I never got it done, so I've got that at the back of my mind that I need to catch up with. But we have done quite a few pages. I've got both of these Cinderella pages. I did this one first. In fact, they were about a year apart. We did this one in June of 2023 and this one in June of 2024. This one was the 29th of June, this one was the 28th of June, so pretty much exactly a year apart. And I remember I was kicking myself because I didn't save the colours I'd used for this. Usually I'll pop it on a bit of paper and stick it in the middle, but I didn't do that. I wasn't being aware of that yet. But I could remember that I used Arteza Expert pencils and the Britfiona macarons. So what I did was coloured, got a little bit of scrap paper, coloured the pencil up to right at the edge of the paper and matched it up to here to see if the colours matched. And that's a great tip if you want to match your colours with something you've already coloured but you can't quite remember what pencils you used. That's a great way to be able to match them. But I've put more of an emphasis on the blue here, as we have some of the blue jars with her nice ball gown. And I think the hardest thing I found was matching the colours for the flowers and the leaves. The leaves I don't think are quite the same. It's got a bit of a darker tone on this one than that one, but that's okay. Really enjoy looking at these together. Can't wait to do this Puss in Boots one. I think he's amazing. I started this either just when we started or just after we started the project book. I just felt inspired to colour the background, really, and I got out my Tombow dual brush pens, just coloured away. It was a nice sort of mindless thing, added a bit of gold for the centre here, and then I started mapping out some of the colours of the dresses. I knew I wanted them to each have a different coloured dress and then to have different coloured hairs, so all their hair and skin are done. Most of the dresses are done, and the ones that haven't been done, I've got notes here. This post-it note must have fallen off of this girl, but I'll see what colour is missing from all of them once they've all been coloured in. Then I think I'll do the frames gold. But I'm waiting now until Meg and I choose to do this as our page for the month, although I think this might be a 2-month job considering how detailed it is. We have done both of the Sleeping Beauty pages. Which did we do? We did this side first, and I used the Black Widow pencils, and I knew I wanted to carry over the colours to this page, so I think pretty much soon after we finished this one I was like, can we do this one next? So the colours are fresh in my mind, I can transfer them across. I kind of copied the purple flowers for this purple blanket here. The blue from his outfit is the blue on the cover here. She's wearing the same pink dress, and I made the background blue to match, and I think it's got some metallic watercolour. Yeah, it's got blue metallic watercolour on the roofs of the turrets and some silver metallic on the dots in the background of this one. Love how those two turned out. I love this one of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Can't wait for that one to be picked. This was one of our earlier ones, Rapunzel. I used Arteza Expert pencils and drew in all of these lanterns to make it look like Rapunzel from Tangled. I was really happy with how that turned out. I finished this one of the Little Red Riding Hood page and have all of my colours saved on this bit of paper here that I have washi taped into the book because I know I want to keep the colours cohesive across the 2 pages. This was one where I just kind of went with the flow. I think I flipped this one day and suddenly went, I want to do red, pink, blue and green and cream, and just went from there. And it turned out pretty much exactly like I wanted it to. Absolutely love the finished result of this and can't wait to have both of them next to each other. So this is in the back of my mind that I've got to finish this page as Megan's already done it. This is one of my favourites I think I've done from this book, and I used Prismacolor pencils for this one. Another one of my favourites, this is Prismacolor pencils, nice and bright and bold. This is Snow White and Rose Red. I think they look absolutely adorable together. I like how they have white flowers on their dresses. I'm pretty sure I had a piece of paper here to match the colours across, but I must have lost it. As I do, which is now why I'm trying to washi tape them in, or I've now got white post-it notes which I can use because I like to swatch the colours out when I do it. But I should be able to match them okay. I know I use Prismacolors on this page, so it shouldn't be too tricky. This is the page that we meant to do for October, November. It's now January that we're doing it for, and I'm determined to get it done. The Hansel and Gretel house. I've been using Prismacolors so far. Again, I thought I had a piece of paper with my colours down, but I don't. But I should be able to match these okay. I know what colours I used. We have the Thumbelina pages. We did this one first. Really enjoyed the bright sort of spring colour palette of it. I used Black Widows for this page, and I noted the colours down so I could bring them over to this one. I think I'll try and finish this first before starting the other Red Riding Hood page. In fact, I've looked at this page a lot recently and thought, you know what, I've got some ideas for elements. I can do some grey for the rocks. That'll be another quick element done. I want to do sort of this darker purpley pink colour for the roof to match with the door. And then when it comes to the mushrooms, not sure what I'm going to do with them, but probably pinks and purples. Blue for the background, same colour as here. And then it will just be a matter of deciding how to colour this bird. That'll probably be the last thing I'll do. I really want to do the Snow Queen one. I think she is gorgeous. We have done Ariel, the Little Mermaid. I think I just recently got my first set of metallic watercolours, so Ariel's whole outfit is done in metallic watercolours, and all of the shells on the side here are done in metallic watercolours. I think those look really effective. I wish I'd done Ariel's outfit in normal coloured pencil. I think it would have looked a lot better and had a bit more definition, but I love the effect of the shells. And for the rest of the image, I used Arteza Expert pencils. I used Arteza Expert pencils again on this page. I believe this is Scheherazade, but we coloured it as if it was Jasmine. Oh, it's from the tale Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. No, Scheherazade is this one here. So I can't remember the name of her, but she's sort of a trickster and kills someone with a dagger, I think. I've got gold metallic watercolour for the tops of the houses here. Lots of white paint pen for the sort of sheer fabric. Love how that turned out. Gold Signo gel pen for the details on her outfit. Some metallic watercolour on the beads up here. Really enjoyed this. I like the rich colour palette of it. This was a more recent page, Aladdin's Magical Lamps. And I think I started off by picking out some gold colour combos. I used Prismacolors for this page and a black matte acrylic paint for the background. I like how that really makes the page pop. This is an earlier page that I did. This is Alice in Wonderland. I love the difference in terms of like pencil quality sort of between that and what's the more recent and that one. Like they're just miles apart. But it's nice to see my progression throughout this book, considering I've had it as a project for so long. I'm not so happy with this page. I think I could do it a lot better. I wanted it to be kind of crazy colourful, but it's kind of matchy, but not quite matchy. And yeah, I would colour it differently nowadays, but that's okay. It shows where I was at the time. We did this for last year's Easter. I really loved colouring these eggs and using a pastel colour palette. And the chicks are absolutely adorable. I used a bit of Spectrum Noir clear glitter pen for the details on the eggs to give it a bit of sparkly shine, and outlined all of the details with a white paint pen. And I really love the effect of that. I do think we need to do a double page at some point, Meg. We haven't done any of them. There's quite a few in this book. This is the first page we ever did, The Wizard of Oz. We did this in March of 2023, and I used the Arteza Expert pencils. I love how the field turned out and all the different coloured flowers. Something I would change is the Emerald City. I used glitter gel pen for the entire thing, and I just think it's a little bit much. If I'd just accented it with the glitter gel pen, it would have looked a lot better in my opinion. But it is fun having the glitter, I gotta say. We did this last summer. This is the giant turnip. They're having a feast after they've pulled the turnip. Again, I have saved the colours here. What did I use? I used Arteza Expert. In fact, this is a better comparison to my first page. You can see a lot of the pencil texture and the page coming through. It's a lot bolder and more vibrant there. Absolutely love this one. I love the pink, yellow, blue colour scheme I used. I think it turned out really well. And I believe that might be the last page we've done in this book. So far anyway. So we've done quite a few from here, but we still have quite a few to go. So let's go back to here, and I've got numbers next to each of the pages so I can mark them off in my journal. So we've done page 1 and 2, page 7 and 8, page 12, 16 and 17, and then page 25, 29, page 34 and 35, 40 and 44, 40, 44, and then 51 and 54. So there we go, quite a nice spread of pages. and that is 15 pages coloured, with a few more close to being finished. So that is Erie's World Fairy Tales book, project book with Megan. Love this book, love colouring in it with her, can't wait to see more done. Then the final project book I have to show you is Disney Vitro, the giant big book that can never fit in frame, but I joined a group for this. I think it was started by Megan from Meg's Colouring Corner, and Claire Colours 1986 is in it, and Sophie's Colouring Journey. I've only done a couple pages in here, and by a couple I do mean just 2. So I think I will just show you those rather than flipping through the whole thing, because there are a lot of pages in here. Where's the first one? Here it is. This is the first page I did. This was a buddy colour with Yolanda from Colouring Biker Mama, and I just fell in love with this book after colouring this page. I enjoyed colouring Winnie the Pooh and colouring all of the different sort of stained glass elements. I used Prismacolors for this. They work really well on this paper, but I do want to test out polychromos to see how they work as well. The first page I did as part of the buddy group was Hades. Again, I used Prismacolors for this. I wish I'd coloured the flames differently, and flipping out, it hurt my hand by the end. But I really love Hades himself. I think he looks awesome. And then I have Tiana flagged, because this was meant to be for December. In fact, I think it was November and December. And then for January we are doing Wally. Is it this one? It might, no, I don't think it is. I think it's just Wally on his own, which I think for me is going to be quite a challenge. He's got a lot of neutrals on him, not the most colourful, and I like using my colours in this book especially. I know he's in here somewhere. Here it is. I think this is the one we're doing. I will of course double check, but I think I want to get Tiana done first and then start Wally. Not sure if I'll finish him, but there we go. Those are the only pages I've done so far in that book. I have written out them all on a separate sheet of paper here. I will mark off the ones I've done, which is 28. Can you see that just about? And 42. So only 2 out of 84 pages to colour. So it's a start, but we'll be getting there. And they did quite a few pages before I joined the group. Not sure if and when I'll catch up with them, but I'll have to make a note of which pages those are. So those are all of my project books I have with buddies. And now I'm going to show you the 5 books that I would like to focus on completing for 2025. So the first book I have is the Kawaii Tarot colouring book by Lulu Mayo. This is my favourite Lulu Mayo book by far. I love the variety in this book, and I love colouring tarot themed pages. I don't know why, I don't believe in tarot really or anything like that, but I just find the imagery really nice. And this first half of the images are the major arcana, and they each have their own full page. I've been colouring these in order, so I've done the Fool, and I used Arteza Expert pencils on this one, and around the outside I've been using a gold watercolour, and that is consistent throughout the book. For the Magician, I used Polychromos pencils. Was not a fan of how they worked in this book. They didn't blend or layer very well at all, so this will be the first and only page I colour with them in this book at least. I really love the colour scheme of this, and I used a lot of metallic watercolour and glitter gel pen and white gel pen to outline the flowers here. Then I've got the High Priestess. I think I based this with water-based markers, which did bleed through slightly. And then I shaded on the top with, I think, the Black Widow pencils. And on the opposite side of the page, I accidentally dropped some water when I was doing this one. I managed to kind of cover it up. There's only just a tiny splotch of blue on this pomegranate here, but that's okay. And I used a gold metallic watercolour on this moon. Love how that looks. The Empress, Really enjoyed colouring this one. I think I used Prismacolors for this page, and there's not too much other extra just on the star metallic watercolour on this one. The Emperor, I was stuck on this page for quite a while, and then I just decided to colour the mountains the same way I kind of approached these, just use a variety of tones of greens, building them up, blending them together, and it creates this really effective look. And I think I used Arteza Experts again for this one. I quite enjoy how they work on this paper. Then the most recent one I just finished this for January, is the Hierophant. I based it with Tombow Dual brush pens and I think some Ohuhu brush pens. And then I just never had the time in the month to come back and shade it. I didn't feel uninspired by it, I just didn't have the time. And the background actually is just a Tombow Dual brush pen, and it laid down really smoothly. Like, you can barely see any streaks. It worked really well. So really happy with how that turned out. Oh, I shaded with the Artex pencils because I wanted to test them out in this book, and I quite enjoyed how they worked. Next I've got the Lovers, which, not gonna lie, is gonna be perfect for February, isn't it? It being Valentine's Day, so not quite sure where I want to go colour palette wise, but that is next. I would like to get the Hermit done before the end of February. I don't know if I can get 4 pages done. I would definitely have to start this page in January, maybe finish at the very start of February, or even complete this in January. It doesn't matter if I do it in February, it just would be nice. And then 3 pages isn't too tricky to do in 1 month, and if I finish this at the start of March, that's okay. And that's the only wintry page, so the rest I wouldn't care what time of year I colour them. I absolutely love the composition of all these cards. I think they're adorable. And this book is great for my Lulu Mays scavenger hunt, as there's such a variety of different objects and animals in here. Then we move on to the minor arcana, and for these I have done every single page so far as a buddy colour, and I kind of like that idea going forward, to have them all as buddy colours. Just adds a fun element to it. This is the first page I did in this book, the Four of Wands. Love the colour palette of this. I use the Black Widow pencils. Then I did the Ten of Wands. I used Arteza Expert, and as I was doing the border for this one, I did that one at the same time. I need to go around and clean up the border with a pen. I often do that at the end, go around with a fine liner. But I think I was waiting to do both of them at the same time or something. But I've got all my colours from the lollipops written down here, so I can create sort of a matching look. And I'm not sure if I want to carry them across onto these 2 pages as well. Not so bothered by that, but I like these 2 to be matching. The Knight of Wands, this might be my favourite page I've done in the book. I just love the colours of it. I love how bright and shiny it is. I use the Black Widows for this. Really like the Black Widows in this book actually. Because it's quite a thin paper, so you can't do too much to it. Even water-based markers often bleed through, I've found. I've done 1 page of the coins, and that is the page of coins. Oh, is this my favourite? I don't know. I mean, they're very similar colour palettes, aren't they? Sort of pinks, teals, orange, yellow. But I do really love that page with the sun and the gold metallic on it. I think Black Widows again. Yeah, Black Widows for that page again. And I've got 1 done in the cups. I use the Brute Venus squares in this. They worked okay, I just don't reach for them as much anymore. And I've got an iridescent watercolour on the bubbles. And I've got some metallic watercolour on the pearls and on the crabs spots here. And again, I've got my colours saved here. I use Brute Venus plus 1 Brute Venus macaron, it looks like, because that's a name rather than a number. So I can bring the colours across to this, as there's a lot of water. I'll keep the watercolours the same. Maybe do the seals in this sort of peachy colour, I'm not sure yet, but I kind of like the idea of doing this page. And it goes for my snow/ice prompt. Maybe I'll keep this out. And then we have these swords. I believe I am doing one of these as a buddy colour. Yes, this one, the Nine of Swords, I am doing as a buddy colour with Zoe. She, I think, had this book randomised or exchanged it for one, and my prompt of the month, well, one of my prompts of the month is bird. So this is the page I'm doing for that. I think this will be a nice, quick, easy colour. I have an idea for the colours of the bamboo at least. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the flowers, but we're doing something different. Usually we share progress pictures of pretty much every page we colour, but this one we're not showing until we finished. So looking forward to seeing hers on that one. And then the last page I've done is the Queen of Swords, and I used a colour cube palette for this one, and it had this sort of chartreusey green, purple, pinks. It was just a really unique colour scheme, and I absolutely loved it for this page. Not sure if I'll use the exact same colours. I think I'll probably focus on the purples, maybe keep the background the same for that one. Not sure yet. I really love that. And that is the final page I've got done. So how many pages? Oh, there's a total of 78 pages because I count each card as a separate page. And it says here I've done 11, but I think that might be 12 now with the Hierophant that I've just done. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so 12. Just need to update that at the back of the book. I should make myself a tracker for this one as well. But there we have it. That is Kawaii Tarot, one of my books I'd like to finish eventually. Then I have 50 Mythical Miniatures by Camila Angel Cova. I added this to my project books because Winter, 89 Colours, Melissa, she's been doing this as a hashtag, Project Mythical Minis. And she's been picking 4 pages a month, and I have been participating as and when I can. So I've done the book belongs to page, not the book belongs to page, the name plate page, the title page, this is it, the title page. And then this is the books belongs to page. I've been using the Ohuhu alcohol markers in here. And I did a couple before this was made into, that she started the project book. That'll just mean I've got one fewer to colour. I've got this to catch up on. I think this was picked for December. So I've just got some tabs at the top to remind me to colour them. This was one of January's pages. This I coloured last year for Mermaid. Really enjoyed doing that one. There's a lot of glitter gel pen accents going on here. The Centaur was a page for November. I love this, the autumnal colours that I managed to bring in, and this dark blue background makes everything really pop. The Yeti I really want to do this month. It will go for Yolanda Colouring by Kamama's Snow/Ice prompt for January. I just think these pages are so cute. This was a December pick, but I was saving it for January because Capricorn goes from mid-December to mid-January, so I need to get on this soon. Elf was one for December. Really enjoyed colouring that one, the Christmassy colours. And then I did the Unicorn. This was the first page I coloured in here. And in fact, I coloured this differently than I do now. I based it with alcohol markers and shaded over the top with Brute Funa macarons, actually. And I think maybe, oh yeah, just Brute Funa macarons for this sort of pastel rainbow colour scheme I got going on, and lots of silver gel pen. This is the Quetzalcoatl, the Feathered Serpent. This was a December page. Really enjoyed picking out a different colour scheme for that one. And then there's a few at the back. Oh, I've done this one. This I coloured a few months back for July, or it may have been June's. Can't remember which. I finished it on the 3rd of July, so it could have been June's. Colouring by Kamama's Camilla Angel Cove, a scavenger hunt for cactus. And I really love this sort of muted green and the yellow, and pairing it with this peachy pink. And I used a bit of metallic watercolour on the, whatever this is called, and on the scales, and some clear glitter gel pen for the wings, the eyes, and on the crown here. Some nice sparkle. And then these last 3 pages are all picks for January. I'd really like to get this door done, but I'm not sure about anything else, whether I'll have the time for that or not. But that is 50 Mythical Miniatures by Camilla Indracova. I have a tracker at the back here. I've done 8 pages so far, so 8 out of 50, not too bad. Love this book. And then I have Cottage Friends by Jeanette Veronica. I thought I should have one cute and cozy book that I focus on completing. The idea is to do a page or 2 a month in here, see if I can fit it in for Zoe and Dee's Colourful Dreamers. They do a scavenger hunt on a Facebook group for this book. And this is split into seasons, which I absolutely adore. I can't wait until we come round to spring and summer to colour some of these pages. But it's about 10 pages per section. So this is the start of summer, I believe. Is it the start of autumn? Yeah, start of summer. I just like how this one's a little bit more detailed, but still very simple. This is the first page I coloured. This was a buddy colour with Zoe. I used alcohol markers and just did very, very simple, just line shading on this. And then we've done one more in the autumn section, which we're in now. And that is this one, the pumpkin patch page. Again, not Ohuhu. I think I used a different brand of alcohol markers for this, actually, the Touch Art, just to try and use them up a bit. And then we move into the winter section. Should get this one done. That's a nice easy one. With the sewing machine. This could go for her prompt snow/ice, but nothing else really worked. There's a lot of Christmassy pages in the winter section. I love this, and Zoe coloured this in Hufflepuff colours for her Harry Potter Hogwarts house, and I want to do the same but for Gryffindor, because I am a Gryffindor. I think that'll look really cute. And I absolutely love this page. Maybe I'll do this for snow/. I know it's got Christmas decorations, but it's not too Christmassy. It's just cute. It's snowy. But that is Cottage Friends by Jeanette Veronica. Another seasonal book I absolutely love is Colouring Book for a Bright Day Together by Stella Park. This is a Korean colouring book. I will show you the ISBN for you to find. Oh, can you see that? I don't know if you can read that. I'll try and find this and put it as a link, as I quite often get requests of where to find this book. So I'll pop that in the description. And this has coloured images on the left for you to colour in on the right, separated into each of the 4 seasons, starting with spring. I absolutely love the spring section. It's probably my favourite section of the whole book. I just find this really relaxing. It challenges my brain to match the colours. I started this quite a few months ago, and I'll pick it up again when I feel like doing a bit of mindless colouring, trying to match them. Really enjoyed doing this tile pattern, actually. But I've used polychromos in this book so far, and that is it. That's a birthday one. I should do that for my birthday in February. I know it's in the spring section, but this kind of looks snowy, kind of wintry almost. I should keep a note of that. I've been meaning to do a collection video on all birthday types of pages. This was the first page I coloured, and this is what made me fall in love with the book. I loved colouring this every minute that I was colouring. I loved how it challenged me to use different colour combos than I normally use. I think it's absolutely adorable. Yeah, I can't wait to colour some of these spring scenes moving into summer. And I like how we have these big scenes that take you quite a few hours to colour, but you also have some smaller images like this that you can knock out in an hour or two. Moving into autumn, I have coloured one from this section. I love colouring shelves. That'll be fun. My goal is to colour one a month. I'm not sure if I'll get one done this month, so already failing at that, but it's just a loose goal. I did this one. It's probably my favourite one I've done so far in this book. I just love the finished result of it. And then we're in the winter section. Again, trying to think about what I could colour for this month or February. I'm thinking about this one of the two friends sat on the couch eating some snacks. There's a nice wintry but not too Christmassy one, although we do have a stocking in the background. I also was tempted by this one with the knitting. That one, the previous one would probably be easier, there's fewer details than compared to this one, but equally adorable. Love that one. And I did this one recently for Christmas. I find it very hard to match their blues, so I just picked a different colour blue, and I kind of like how bright it is. Makes mine unique. Or I could do this one for just a nice snowy scene. And that is all of the pages from this book, Colouring Book for a Bright Day Together by Stella Park. And the final book I have on my list of books to complete is Mini Mania Volume 1. You'll recognise this as I host Complete Mini Mania, where I put up a poll on my Instagram stories of 3 pages for you to vote between, and then I post the picture that we are to colour for the month. And if you have been keeping up with this throughout the colour along, by December 2025 they will all be done. So this was the page picked for November 2024. Haven't got that done, but I'm tempted to go back and do it now. I'm feeling inspired by this book, I think because we're close to the end. 12 pages to go of selecting them. This was July's page from last year. I started it, based it with alcohol markers. I even did a little bit of shading on the tree here. And then I ran out of time for the month and never came back to it. But I do like how it's turning out, and it would be quite an easy page to finish. This has been second in a lot of polls. This is a sneak peek for January. I have finished this one. I even added a bit of metallic watercolour on some of these books. I had a lot of fun colouring this, and it was really quick and easy. I would love to pick this for February. I know I have been doing polls, but February's my birthday month. I've kind of been wanting to save this for my birthday month because it's a cake. So I might just go ahead and pick that. I do like this one with the 2 different scenes. In fact, this was a joint winner for 1 month, and I picked the mushrooms page over that one. I wonder which one's going to be the last one to be voted for. The almost fan-voted least favourite. I know I put up a different selection each month, but the last one will definitely be the least favourite. I just flipped past this without talking about it. This is the first page I did in this book, and I based it with alcohol markers and shaded over the top with pencils. Oh, what did I use? I have no idea. I think Arteza and the Brute Funa macarons, it looks like to me. I absolutely loved this page. I started this one, got confused with the colour palette and got intimidated and abandoned it. One day I'll have to come back to it, but this was April 2024. This was October 2024's. This was the first page I'd done in this book for months up until that point, but I loved the autumnal colour palette. Found this a lot of fun to colour. What pencils did I use? I have no idea. The Prismacolors, maybe? Black Widows? No idea. I'm just guessing. This was the pick for December 2024. I have no idea how I want to tackle this, so I have left it for now. I think this will be picked for one of this year's summer prompts. or pages I should say. This was the pick for, I believe it was March, but I finished it at the start of April 2024. I love the limited colour palette of this, of just the greens, a little bit of red and the pinky purple. I love this page. This is August 2024's page. I want to do it yellow. That's all I have in my mind. I want to do it yellow. This juice box house. This was the first page I picked for November 2023. This kind of autumnal themed one. I love this one. The Carrot Garden. This was May 2024. I love the colours I used on this. Based with alcohol markers and shaded over the top with, I have no idea, Arteza Expert ? Probably. I like Arteza in the Amazon print books. This was September 2024's pick. Don't know what colour scheme I want to go for this, so I haven't started that one yet. I started June 2024's. Went for sort of different greens for up here, blue down here, and I had no idea what to do for the houses, so this has been as a whip for a little while. I love this page. This was an option for quite a few months last year. It never got picked, but it'll be done this year. Maybe for March, April, May, something like that. This is a really cute page as well. This was February 2024. I thought it kind of looked like they were a little in love there. And I like the sunset sky that I did. That was a fun page. And then this is the final one. This will probably be done in the autumn season for next year. So yeah, not too many pages left to go. It is going to be exciting to have this completed. And I know a lot of you have been colouring every single month, and I'm looking this year to do a bit of catch up. So that is everything. Those are the books I'd like to work on completing this year, and all of my project books. Gosh, I've been recording for an hour and 20 minutes. It'll be cut down a little bit, but not much. This is a longer video than I thought it might be, but I really enjoyed looking through and sharing my progress update with you all. Let me know in the comments below if you have any project books. Are there any books that you're wanting to complete for 2025? I'd love to hear in the comments. And thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.